Just press it. Yeah. Hi guys, it's Emily and I'm joined again with Saoirse.
Hiya.
If you notice, we're wearing the same clothes. I filmed this on the same day as my previous video. So today we're going to talk about long distance relationships and kind of things to expect in them.
Yeah.
Right, well, I was in one. Now, some people won't think this is long distance, but I was in a relationship with someone from Galway, and it was about an hour and a half journey there, and then another 15 to 20 minutes to where the person actually lived. So we were talking nearly 2 hours of travelling. So it is like, if you're like, what I want to aim in this video is kind of to give people maybe an insight into what long distance can really be like, with travelling and not seeing each other, and then like you're going to have jealousy.
There's expenses as well.
There's expenses, there's jealousy, there's insecurities because that person's not there with you 24/7. Like, from my perspective, it was in the country. Yours wasn't. It was further. We won't mention where it was. It was further than mine, and it didn't last.
No, it'd be about a 3-hour flight.
Yeah, it's a flight, and then for a student, students don't have money really for flights.
And he didn't have money either.
Yeah,
so.
it was just like mine was different. Like, the person that I was going out with towards the end of our relationship, he did manage to get a job and everything, but work was a commitment that bless you. Work was a commitment that he had to commit to. There was no doubt about it. Like, he couldn't just come to Tullamore whenever he wanted. I couldn't go and see him whenever I wanted because I'm a student, and frankly, I'm living off maybe 15 to 20 euro a week, and that has to do me for that entire week. And if I was to go and see him,
yeah, none of it left.
That's my 15 to 20 euro gone for that week, and like then I'm not including food, clothes, any necessities that I need. So my biggest tip would be, if you're thinking of a long distance relationship, really think it out before you get into it, because when you get into it, it's too late. You can't change your mind. Well,
you can,
but
just know what you're getting into.
But know what you're getting into. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is like, know what you're getting into. It's going to be hard. There's no denying that.
God.
When you have a bad day, you're not going to have the person you love right beside you. Like, whether they're an hour away, 2 hours away, it's not always possible to travel on that day.
No.
To have that person with you. It's just genuinely not possible sometimes to have that. And I think that's a really big thing when you're in a relationship, is not to have the person that you love with you.
I know it's horrible, like, because that's who you want.
That's who you want. Like, from my personal experience, I went through a really rough time towards the end of my college year, and I didn't have my boyfriend at the time, and that was really hard. Like, of course, I had friends and family. This beautiful human here was my rock through it, but at the end of the day, I didn't have the person that I loved the most out of everybody.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard. And then as well, there's a lot of jealousy. I found there was an awful lot of jealousy in the relationship, because you don't know who that person's hanging around with all the time. You don't know if they're out with lads, whether they're out with girls, or whether they're actually sitting at home every weekend. You don't know. You're not there, so you're not going to be able to tell. Like, it's great if you have friends that are friends with them and that are from there or wherever they live. Like, they'd be able to tell you, well, look here, I seen your boyfriend or your girlfriend with this person at such a time. Like, that's different. Like, that's helpful. But when you don't have that, you don't know who they're with. And I think that's one thing that can kind of wreck long distance relationships, is obviously you have to have a lot of trust in that person, because you're not with them 24/7. So you have to be able to trust them to know that they're not going to go out and do something with someone else, or that they're not texting anybody else or whatever. And it all does come down to trust. And I know this, and Saoirse knows this as well. Like, all comes down to trust. But long distance relationships aren't easy.
in our experience, they don't work out for us, because like when you get with someone and you know that you can't just put all that trust into them.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, like it gets easier, but I don't think it does.
I don't think it does. Like in a normal relationship, like when that person, say Jimmy's from Dublin, and he meets Martina, and Martina's from Dublin, they have a better chance of working their relationship out because they're in Dublin together. They can see each other whenever they want. Whereas Billy and Mary lives in Tullamore, Billy lives in Donegal.
Like that's 4 or 5 hour drive.
That's 4 or 5 hours worth of travelling.
And there's no direct route.
There's no direct route with trains, buses, or anything. You have to have the money to be in a long distance relationship. And for people who are young, like, I'm not saying like older people don't have money either, but like they have more experience and
they might have a career.
They might have a career,
job.
Whereas students who are only starting out don't, unless you have someone that is able to financially support you and be able to help you out when you want to go and see your other half. I think if it's your first, like, how would you say it, like your first serious relationship, get with someone closer. Get with someone. Get someone within half an hour to 40 minutes away from you, because that's doable. Like,
that's doable. Yeah,
that's really doable. But I wouldn't recommend, if it's your first proper relationship, not to go with someone who is too far. It's way too hard, and like you're only gonna hurt yourself in the process and the other person if it doesn't work out, because you're gonna be constantly blaming yourself. Well, like, what if I did this right? What if we seen each other more? Would it have changed things? The reality is nobody knows whether it would have changed anything or not. Like, for me personally, that's kind of one of the bigger things that got to me when my relationship ended, was would things be different if we had seen each other more, or if I had been able to stay more. Like, I did my best, like.
Yeah, you did, yes.
Everyone, like, I'm not just saying me, I'm not just saying Saoirse, everyone does their best to see their other half. That goes without a doubt. That's just how it is. But it's something that you really, really need to think about.
And be able for, and like, mentally, emotionally,
like,
everything.
If you've experienced a relationship, you know there's bad times and good times. You have to, in a long distance relationship, you have to be able to cope with the bad things more than the good things.
Yeah, because it's hard.
Because it's a lot harder. It's so much harder. Like, it's okay for me to sit here and for Saoirse to sit here and tell you that it's hard, but unless you experience it yourself, you're not actually going to know how difficult it is to be in a long distance relationship. It's very hard. And like with my videos on YouTube, my aim when I do advice videos or tip videos is to actually try and help someone out there, whether it's one person, 2 people, or 5. It doesn't matter how many people it helps, as long as I'm helping someone to get an insight onto what it's like to be in these situations. It's hard. It's very, very hard. You have to be able to mentally cope. And I think a lot of people think at the beginning, oh, this is going to be okay, we'll cope, we'll get through everything. There's going to be times when you're not going to be able to.
And it's more like, you know, like, if you're not seeing each other the whole time,
yeah,
you'll find yourself arguing on the phone or whatever. And then when you're meeting up with each other, like, you don't want to talk about the issues because you just want to spend that time together.
Yeah, you want to spend that time.
And it's building up them walls and grudges, and then it just all explodes into a huge argument. And
that's actually a very good point. Fights in long distance relationships.
They're horrible.
Like, they're worse than having fights with someone who is close to you, because you can't be there with that person to explain how you're feeling, or to explain why you're feeling this way, or why that topic annoys you. You can't do that. They're too far away from you to be able to do it. So then, as Saoirse said, it builds up and it builds up, and then when you finally do see each other, you don't talk about it. And it gets pushed away to the side until something else comes up, and then everything explodes. And that's a big reason why long distance relationships end.
It's not worth the
emotional
strain.
It's not worth the emotional strain. I think going forward now, from experiencing it, I don't think I could ever get into a long distance relationship again.
I don't think so either.
I think I'd rather someone that was within a drive away. Like
Yeah.
I know Galway isn't far, and I know
People have money to go up there and stuff.
I know where your person was. I know that it's not technically that far, but it is at the end of the day.
In flight hours. Like,
In flight hours, in travel hours, in money, money wise, it's a lot of strain on a person, and like of course there's always going to be people who are in long distance relationships who make it through. There's always those people that make it through, and I'm delighted that there is, because everyone deserves to be happy.
Like if they could
If someone can make it work in a long distance relationship, fair play to them, because I know I can't.
Right. I can't either. I need to be close
I
to the
need
person.
to be. I'm the type of person that does better when someone's closer to me.
I feel like it feels like when you're with them, you're in the relationship, but then when you're not with them, it's like, oh, this is only my part-time relationship.
I'm single again.
It's not a nice feeling.
It's not. But that really kind of concludes everything in this video. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure to comment down below if you have any suggestions on videos that I can do in the future. Hit the subscribe button and hit the little notification bell down there below as well, so you'll be notified when I upload. And I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.
Bye guys.